Thank you once again, Lou. It is time to see how this story ends, or if it continues all the way to a map 3 bind. The choice of Heretics, the squad who won 9 rounds in a row to kick off this series, but it ended up 13-7. A streak from ULF got them back on our radars. The question is, can they bounce back on their opponent's map pick?
I'd say unlikely, but I'm glad that they're going for something a little bit more aggressive. I think especially Fabian had some nice moments for the previous map on that Viper, but now being allowed to be that little bit more aggressive, use some of that individual skill we've already seen out from him. So I think that's a good change. Just try and almost out-frag your opponents. And on the other side of things, I mentioned that so far, Woot, I think we've only seen him play Yoru, is now back on a Fade, back on an initiator that he's comfortable on, re-ends onto the Gecko, and it is more of a setup heavy around comeback, especially on this attack side. I think that's a nice change.
Oh, we've seen this before. A lot of players sitting, waiting in the spawn, playing off that initial contact, which will come towards Stern. His Growler's already sent through, back up on the way, but not quick enough. Comeback's already on him. Now up close, though. He's going to face a big challenge with the early retake. 3 players rushing it through. It's catching Heretics off guard at least to start, but now they know that the cavalry is coming. Great stun. At least going to catch one up close. The trades, good to decent, as Neki pulls this back into a doable reality for all. Okay, beautiful spray with the wide swing, and a 1v1 set up as a result. Fabian's chamber about to be put to the test.
Still a snake bite available. Yep. Benji's lineup will go in immediately, and even though that's been tapped, it should be denied at least for the moment. He doesn't need to re-pick. Just wanted to make sure he wasn't sticking it the entirety of the way, but it doesn't matter. Fabian will hit the shot eventually, and should have himself enough time to get this over the line as well. It is an all-important pistol round coming in for ULF, and a very good start, but mostly from the leader.
God, this is what we like to see. Again, we came into this series, we came into even the second half of last map, and we hadn't seen ULF pick up a pistol. They very nearly whiffed the second round, but that really continued that momentum on from the first half when they found it. 4 in a row. If they can get that kind of start here, gold dust. And this is what I love to see, man. Fabian, last map, he reminded me of Heretics, the way he was screaming. I mean, he had some pipes on him, and now he shushed him after a pistol. Hell yeah. Well, a 3-in-1 start. He's feeling confident. Or Neki's feeling confident. Sorry, Fabian only got the 1. Yeah, a little bold to shush.
Well, yeah, he got the last one. He got the last kill. He clutched. He won the clutch, so he told them to shush.
And the pistol.
It's funny.
Let's hope he doesn't come to regret that.
You got to go with it. You got to go with it. You got to play the confident game. Obviously, for this round, at least, not much invested into. Okay, but one of the things they did have was a Sheriff on Benji.
Don't miss me too much.
Fabian already dead.
I think he might have shushed him back there with a 1v1 wall.
He was actually just predicting that he was going to be quiet in the next round.
I'm going to have a quiet performance now. I'm going to hush. Yeah, well, Benji's revenge has already been had, but...
Benjyfishy.
Yeah, sure, why not? But for him, that 1v1 didn't result in a round win. That's the difference. Okay, so they're eco. Let's go. Not going to push through that.
Confident.
He's too close.
Confident.
He's going. He's already in. He gets 1. He gets 2. It's on us for 3. That is a wonderful resurgence from ULF, who I was worried would have a similar second round to what we saw before, where they were pushed to the brink, but Audaz has bailed them out of that situation.
Okay,
wow.
Doesn't seem like we're getting the same reaction, but this was nice. It was risky as hell, but this is exactly the style I want to see from this team. Yeah. Are they going to beat them on synergy or team play or having perfect utility setups? No. Are you going to beat them by playing mad? Probably still no, but at least you will get rounds like that, and it's giving you the best opportunity. As you can see, second best map. Not this group of players.
Before the 2 of the best players left. Yep.
Fabian. Now, he only has himself the headhunter this time. He's already shot 2 bullets at the Gecko flash. He doesn't have a whole lot to play with here.
Pit.
And obviously on the other side, this is where they now come in with the full buy.
Be right back.
Fabian, oh my goodness.
2 was all he needed.
He didn't even want the kill necessarily.
1 to spare.
It would have been enough for him to be spotted and TP back to set up Demur to catch them as they come up through long.
Mitch,
Instead,
I think you need to
Opening pick for Fabian. Early rotation as well towards the safe side, but it does look like they'll be forced into a retake.
Oh, Util might be able to deny them a little bit. Unfortunately, Wingman has already done the job. No weapon found for Fabian, so I think he genuinely has one bullet on the chamber. But
Scout destroyed.
been given over. Forward on Fabian. Oh, okay. He's managed to survive that. I thought he was dead to rights, and eventually he is. Benji and Boo. Rian's still in the corner. His util now dissipated. But he's just meant for the surprise factor, and a surprise factor he most certainly is. Flash back online, completely blinded his Stern, and more importantly, the time is gone. There is no way they are taking home this round. They might take a few casualties. Neki still going strong. And in fact, oh, I thought he might go through the TP with that rifle. He didn't.
A bold choice, but he just wanted to make it even more costly. Unluckily, nobody was sticking around. Heretics, one on the board.
Costly one, though.
But yeah, it ends up taking quite a few blows in just because of that last fight. This attempt to swing through, guarantee that there was no defuse underway. Perhaps close the round out with a TP, but they missed out on the last step.
Yeah, I think Stern at least did manage to keep a rifle, so they have boosted their economy a little bit. That allows for the operator to even come in as well. So it's ended up quite nicely for ULF, and a chance to get back into this a little bit early. Straight away, though, it has to be the escape, and actually punishing this kill is going to be quite difficult, but they are rushing it down to try and find him. In fact, it is the punish. Come back in, come back out.
That's a wonderful opening. The TP's taken, though. That's a double push coming through on Bath. Rian's has got his work cut out for him, but Fabian's alone on that swing. Now they know there's another. The spam doesn't stop the spike plant in Heretics, despite what looked like a few bumps in the road. They seemed to have this round locked in, but the Seekers, that's even going to reveal the position of Rian's as he goes down. We're back in the game. HP advantage goes towards ULF. Heretics look to deny. The molly goes in a little late, but the defuse has been denied. Neki has to push them. He has to run it down. They can play the time if he waits too long. And that clock is ticking. The pressure on, and I think he's already ran out. They can throw themselves at this. Lemmings would be enough.
Are not for this shit.
And that's exactly what they're going to try. Neki, a 3K, but it might not be enough. He's got Boo, and it could be just in the nick of time. What a clutch from ULF. A Red Bull clutch to put that lead up to 2.
Fair play, Neki. He is 10-2 right now, and each time it's been insane moments. He did it in the pistol round. This was just ridiculous. And it was a 2v5 scenario where he had to come out with a 4K to win the round. That is massive from Neki. And that now puts them into the lead. It proves that, hey, the IGL now stepping up as one of those big players on the server. And for Heretics, that is a bitter blow to what should have been an easy closeout to the round.
Oh, man, I mean, that one was done. They had all the pieces, but evidently none of the picture. For Heretics, that's a big blow. And for ULF, this shows them that this squad can bleed. When they got that big streak last time, it wasn't to extend the lead. It was
that was fast.
It was to come back. Now, well, they extend their lead to 3-1, but an early blow dealt, a rifle onto Boo, a Viper's Pit late, one away
onto
from
Boo
orbital strike.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. We need to be very cautious on this defensive side, because look at what this kill has given. A player rotating from the A side, dead over here, sure. A rifle recovered, but mainly, it's this. It's the fact that Stern is now completely isolated. And sure, they're making up for that with a bit of info on B, but they can't play a retake if Stern is there. Where is he retaking from? Unless he manages to slip through bathroom, which I imagine there'll be someone there late, this man is going to have to fight his way out of this corner.
Yeah, he does have...
We're out of bathroom.
The trap in play, so that might help him out a little bit, at least to know that he's not being flanked as of right now.
Although, Wu can't feel the same.
Yeah, the flank on the flank.
30 seconds left.
Already, though. Util used to counter Neki once again, but it's only going to be a couple. I say only because there's still plenty that needs to be done. Come back with another, and now could just look to dash into the TP. Nobody on the other side. They're going to have to try and sprint all the way back. They were wary just in case he'd managed to put his TP down and could have gone right back to them. Orbital strike used to deny. Molotov gives them time, but Fabian's already passed it. In fact, they're both already past it. Ultimate use, convergence path to try and stun them up. But again, already close. I think that's been spotted, but it doesn't matter. Comeback goes swinging in, and they'll win it anyway. A close round. A round that maybe should have even gone the way of Heretics, but good reactions from ULF. They are extending their lead.
Oh, this is a remarkable play. I mean, obviously for ULF, they started on the defense by their own choice, but I think we can look far past that. This is a team that came in 9-0. Heretics honestly looked like they were playing ranked on Smurf accounts to start this out. They were not breaking a sweat.
That's just their normal accounts.
But now, 4-1 in the lead. Big individual plays. We've seen Audaz obviously looking good last map and here, but Neki, I don't know what has happened to this man. I don't know what they said to him on the way out, but 12-3, they pissed him off.
Stop trying to IGO and just kill everyone. Like that seems to be the genuine call. It's just, I guess, have a little bit more faith in your own individual brilliance. And this composition does look like a little bit more of an aggro comp. It's like, okay, we tried the let's play properly and passive way. Now let's play the we're Turkish and we can aim way. And that seems to be working out way better. Like, Neki's just disrespecting them. Like, he's swinging angles from pistol. He was just swinging angles. He's now doing it, running in behind them, like getting into positions that he really shouldn't be able to get into. And I think this, if anything, this pause might just be a momentum break, just to go like, look, lads, it should be a comfortable victory for us. But maybe be aware that these guys are just running and pushing at us at this point.
Well, yeah, I think, if anything, that last round, alarm bell starts to ring when you have Neki just shift walk up B, come behind you when you've made no contact in 45 seconds. You got to think they're going to push. They're going to do something. They're going to look for info. And the fact that he gets 2 players looking the other way, that can't happen again. And I think that realization's been made on Heretics. That there are gaps right now. Those gaps are being exploited. Let's patch them up.
Okay, that's the second time Deb has run through a TP and been domed immediately. It definitely seems like, just look how passive this time the positions are. But it doesn't matter when there's a tour de force on the other side.
The spike.
Could be an easy pick for Fabian.
In Dildefels. Very nice. I like the fact that Demer's the one going into the TP. Again, the idea there just being, let's check if they're there. I can TP back if they're not. And then at least we can rotate.
Look how far Fabian
to the
has
B
gone.
side if needed.
He's already pushed all the way up, so they know that it's here. 2 players already almost look like they're attacking the site. They've held all the extremities. Woot trying to swing into the angle. He's now spotted his opponents. Nice shot from Neki, but it's only the one this time. And you can see they're still trying to take these aggro fights, almost disrespectful fights from the Heretics players. And because of that, they're now a man down. A whiff shot from Boo. And he's boxed in. He's completely surrounded.
Yeah, tour de force waiting for him down on long. Tucking in the corner is the only option. Time is ticking, and ULF will need to make a move. The question is, will they be synchronized? Will they be able to trade at least for the first? It looks like yes. Fabian round that corner just in time, but they don't know where comeback is. Right time, right place for Fabian. Story of the round. A 3K out of him and a 5th for ULF. 5-1 in the lead, and the energy hasn't changed down on that stage. But for the first time, the scenario has. It really feels like ULF, not just in the last couple rounds, but in this map, they've got full control of the reins.
And he's giving it. And I like it as well, because there's got to be that little bit of almost playful banter as well, that these are players from your region. They're players that you will have met, you will have known, and you're sort of the new upcoming youngsters to the stage, even though, like, if you look at the age of a lot of the players on the stage, they may even still be older than Woot, just because of how young he is, but it's a chance, it's an opportunity for them to play against the people they probably hope to replace or play with in the future. Fabian, this is such an aggressive angle. He's got to almost get one and escape, and he just takes the escape route, but there's no escape from comeback. Another opener for him. Can they transfer into something? Dema just went running into the blender. That's another gun on the deck.
Sure, and the Viper's pit put into it. Now that really changes things. The judge, not one you're going to look to challenge, even if you do as a man in front of him. Or man beside him, sorry, in the form of Benji.
Oh, I like
so much control to play with. Benji's forced forward, a chance to drop that pit if they can find him. Audaz wrapping around the back will catch the players. Over on short. Find them running back through as well. Audaz with a huge amount of impact, but the snake bites denied the fuse, and Benji's there to clean it up. Big round from him. The pit made all the difference, and Heretics have a round on the board. Another at last.
Yeah, they were a little bit unlucky. Benji goes down to 14 HP, and the second that pit drops, it would have been panic stations, but this judge was definitely the defining piece, the opener that was found a very risky play. It's weird though, because like obviously this is what we're calling for. We want to see this team taking crazy risks, but I think Dema has now been just completely obliterated like maybe 4 rounds in a row. So I don't know. Maybe there's a slightly better way to do it.
Well, is it going to be the one and done for Heretics? Can ULF bounce right back? It could come down to this early fight from Fabian. A few shots not landed in the TP. Well, it's fair to say it's not quite safe. Unlucky. And now, the Heretics set their sights on the A side. Caught one already. That's a huge detain, but there's going to be backup. Stern's coming in to try to save the day. Oh, he can't quite get there in time. Trades at least, well, a trade for ULF, and then an immediate shutdown from Heretics. 5-3.
Yeah.
Finally putting rounds back to back.
It was a low buy. That's the only thing. It was, a singular Guardian, so like they were saving for this round.
And it didn't really have a chance to do much, did it?
No. It was, yeah, the immediate dash in. I think that's where we are seeing like the success, at least a bit, of what you wanted to see from this composition. It's like setting up comeback to get those openers. Yep. We've seen him also using his own like slow very effectively, like stunning players up, leaving them in awkward positions. So I definitely like what I'm seeing from his Waylay. It's just some of the clutch rounds they've lost, some of the silly like flanks they've lost. Those are the things we don't want to be seeing from Heretics, especially when they come up against, well, tougher opposition. Fabian is just, he's out of his TP. He doesn't care. Comeback is waiting for him to peek a different angle. And they've left Stern in the corner. They're going to hear Fabian moving back. But actually, after not seeing anything, he almost goes like, screw it. I want another bite of the cherry. And even though he fails, do they check? They do check. Fair play to Wu for checking that.
Dead.
Hello?
He's down.
He's got to be dead.
He's got to have. Oh! Fair play. That was a shot and a half. I thought he was dead to rights with nothing. But he's managed to take a 2-for-1 combo meal.
Screen down.
And you could just look at the way the bench is having to play. He's just having to check every angle under the sun to make sure he's not being flanked. And he's not, but he doesn't know that.
Poison orb emitting. Poison's off.
There's going to be re-aggression with that flash. And just been caught.
Blinded.
Nothing. 30 seconds left on the clock. No clear direction from this attacking squad until they shift towards this B site. That's where the plan's going to come through.
Orbital strike.
The thing is, orbital strike online, 20 seconds on the clock. It really depends how quick they are to get to the site, or boots may hit the ground.
Launching smoke.
At this point, it's all down to that orbital strike position.
10 seconds left.
This could be denied. The plan starts here. Great orbital strike. It's going to be stuck. He's going to give his life for it and just about get it. It sets Benji into a 1 versus 3, but he won't even get the first.
Yeah, I like that. Clear plan set out from ULF. And as I said, like we've had expectation of them being super aggressive, doing some of the silly rounds, but that was just smart. By having 2 players on one side and the other just playing passively with the utility, knowing that they would be able to delay that extra bit of time, and I think something that Heretics clearly didn't clock quick enough. That's going to be another round onto the board. I believe they're just buying a little bit of extra time to go get themselves the operator as well, which has been a big part of this defensive side, like having Fabian in these aggressive positions and just causing so many issues. 6-3, half at minimum is going to be level. And I'll be honest, with how they've been playing so far, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the lead.
Yeah, it almost feels like the question is, how much will they lead by at the half? Because ULF not getting one of these next 3 seems very unlikely. The play has been solid. Neki looks unbelievable, even here in the end, using the orbital strike for that late play. They've been very disciplined. Their defense has looked solid. I imagine the attack will still be there. We'll still see a good face to it, but
I think it's going to be tougher with this comp.
I think a lot of the value from like your chamber, for example, in those early fights is going to be mostly here. Great duel down on long. A double push and an opening. For 4v5 now, Heretics having to play without the Viper Wall.
I like how it's the 3 like permanent members of the squad all pushing together, like having that little bit of extra synergy, and then the other 2 is like, you guys hold A. You got Viper's Pit, you just delay them as much as possible, don't worry, we'll be there in a moment. And they are now ready and stacked up on that side of the map. They've got the trap deep within B Hooker as well, so that they can still just have the jiggle peek from Neki, and while Stern's only going to get the 1, but he's at least delayed them a little bit. Dema in the corner. An operator in an unorthodox position, but it's worked out for Fabian. Comeback trying to be sneaky though. He's managed to make his way through. Time is being bought. You can see the patience now using that convergence path. And in combo, it's only going to be one player that gets killed, but they've caught Deva. He was also stunned up. Beautiful combination of ultimates from Heretics. And what was looking like another damning position, they brought back to an advantage.
It's Neki in the 1 versus 2. He has been heating up like an overused laptop, and he's already found the first. A chance! Oh, that spray was so close, but boom! Swings in! Oh, man, that felt like ULF in the lead. Neki continuing his streak, but Heretics won't let them run away with this. A 2-round gap now. The lead.
His combo is lovely.
The lead's being kept honest for now, at least. Ah, nice try from Neki, though.
6-4. Lead is still theirs, but the economy definitely in the bin a little bit. They're going to give the Guardian over to Fabian just to try and see if he can get something on these aggressive plays, but it looks like a more standard sort of group up, maybe trying to deny any form of orb control, especially with Fabian only being a couple away. You can understand you don't want that tour de force coming into this round.
Yeah, I mean, the approach here from ULF going out for the long fight on B, it's just unfortunate for them that they've come to a jousting competition and there were more knights on the other side, hit by a few more lances. I mean, the fact that they have had some success with re-clearing some map control, bursting that utility, this time they go dry, it doesn't work out, and Heretics end up in a position of a 5v4 with the A site being their choice, and it is much less heavily defended than any other part of the map. You know, in terms of retakes here, that's a very early molly. Demur could go, oh, it's on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Demur could go for the ult, but do you want to risk it here? No, save it for that 7-5 scoreline at the half, surely.
They'd need a kill or two before I feel like that ult is ever going to... Well, there's one. I don't know where Orders has just got that from. In fact, he's managed to find a second. This is now starting to get a little bit interesting, but Demur's already gone. Trade back, a third kill for Orders, but he is dead. Stern to stand in to try and do something, and instead of shoot, he's jumped. That's not what he was aiming for.
That is the mouse wheel coming back to get you. Unlucky. 6-5 now for Heretics. They started this one out slow. A 5-1 deficit. And they're almost even at the half. Remember, ULF again, they decided, because Heretics picked them up, they chose to start here on the defense. They want this last round. They want that lead. And on round 12, it's a rare one, coming into the final round of the half, we have a timeout from ULF.
Yeah, I think maybe it's more, again, I think a lot of what we've seen from Afron Fire is like when things are getting a little bit out of control, he's trying to level the ship a bit. I think going in, even just mentally, going in with a victory at the half is going to be a good sign for the team. Like, keep people positive, and I think like it has started to slip out of control a little bit. Last round, obviously, you could forgive. It was, again, another low purchase, but it had some heat to it. Like, you are seeing glimpses of what this squad can do. With Ordaz just hitting crazy shots, and well, unfortunately, Demmer's definitely having a bit of a rougher map than he did on the previous. But we'll see. They're definitely not out of this map just yet, and I think that's the look that Afron Fire is going for. Like, hey, if we can go in with a victory at the half, take a pistol, there's a genuinely good opportunity for them to steal a map here, which, as I said, coming into today, I said if Heretics lose more than 8 rounds on a singular map, I'd be worried for them. On this map, I really wouldn't be surprised with how it's going so far.
Teleport's ready.
One last hurrah before we go to our halftime break. The timer ticking down. An operator in the hands of Comeback early will be sent towards B long.
The triple stack.
Will Audaz look for that fight? The smoke's already down. Orbs here could play a big role. Audaz 2 away from the orbital strike. A tour de force, 1 for Fabian. On the attack side, none that will be very easy to get online with 3 orbs required, but could have that late round play. The final one of the half, and you can see that Heretics, they're not giving any ground to ULF here without a contest. A default played for the first 40 seconds, but it does look like we're getting close to them running into this totem pole. 3 players stacked up in a firing squad. Quite the challenge for whoever rounds that corner.
Well, no, maybe not. Comeback manages to just don't want an escape, but it's the Benji maybe trying to help out that has ended up losing his life instead. Whoop, though, We'll give them the advantage once again and come back, just looking to try and find a gap within the smoke, maybe catch the player who's constantly been trying to deny them. It's another for Woot, adding another to the death pile, looking like a 6-6 half is likely. 2 players flanking. Not going to get caught by Wingman, but he knows exactly where to look and leaves just Ordaz alone. He's had his moments, Mitch, but this would have to be the best of them.
It was a stellar start from ULF, but for victory in the half, a 3K needed. First, we'll give him his ultimate if he found it, and as we can see, that's a big if. 6-6 at the halftime. A resurgence from Heretics as they get back to 6-6, get back to level. We're going off to our halftime break, but we're going to hear a little bit from Benjyfishy on how Heretics are getting on and getting their confidence back after last year.
I mean, yeah, it definitely wasn't the greatest year for us. I mean, I think what was important for us is that we, even when we did do badly, that we didn't like give up. I think everybody had really high expectations of us after 2024. For us, we knew it was going to be a really hard year. Teams got better, and I think we just didn't like step up when we needed to. Obviously, it wasn't like a bad year in any terms. It's just compared to 2024, it just wasn't as good. And I think we learned a lot from it, and that's the important thing. I mean, I think the fact 2025 didn't go as we planned, I had assumed there would be some changes. I didn't know what changes. I thought at some point maybe I'd get dropped. Yeah, when I found out I was sad, but the thing is Miniboo's like so talented that I knew he was gonna be able to find another roster, which he did, and I'm happy that he's still in EMEA. If he was in America, I'd be pretty sad when I get to see him that often, but the fact he's in Berlin, I get to see him, you know, every now and then, so yeah, it's still fine. I'm happy. I think the most important thing for us is remembering how we became so good. We didn't get second at Champions because we were all shooting amazing. We got second at Champions because we were a good team. If you're not a good team, you're not gonna get anywhere. So the most important thing for us is being a good team, playing together well and doing the basics right. I think for me, like swapping to VALORANT, like a big thing was proving to myself that I can do it. Obviously now I've reached a top level, I've played on like the biggest stages that VALORANT has. I think I've still got more to prove to myself. Like at the end of the day, I think most players want a career similar to like Faker if they could choose, and I'm like no different. I want to win everything I can, and obviously it's a long way to go, but that's my goal at the end of the day. So I'm going to keep competing as long as I still enjoy it.
Well, getting confidence back down on that stage. Tell you what, that first map looked like whatever he did, it worked.
Yeah, no, it feels like he was pretty confident. He's been having a good series overall, but at least in this map, the story has more been about ULF. Like those first 6 rounds especially, we saw some big clutch plays. Neki and Ordaz playing fantastically. I think Fabian also having some moments as well. It's not looking like a done deal, but the second half, well, I felt like this pistol could tell a different story. A victory for Heretics, and you do worry a little bit that this game might slip away.
For ULF, they're the squad that need to be locked in all the way through. At any moment, even at 12, it feels like it could slip away. With Heretics having that extra gear, they've proven it at the highest level consistently. And now, a wounded animal after that first week. Can only think they'll be even more deadly as they're backed into a corner. The pistol, with a minute left, sees ULF spread across the map, the spike left behind. They're looking for fights, they're looking for battles, and they'll find it at least to start. But, oh, okay, the results actually are what they want out of that. Very nicely done. Viper's still online for the wall to go back, but they're going to bring that spike to the A site. And with Brienne's down, there's not much that can be done.
Yeah, the main danger obviously is no, that's watches for that as well. They are catching every player as they go, and well, a man looking for confidence, a 1v4 would be one way to boost it, but I'm just looking at the aggressive position of Stern. Yeah, they're going to fall back. It doesn't make sense to over-aggress in this sort of position. They're going to try and just get themselves into a tradable spot and not give anything over to Benjyfishy, because he has been taking heads all day long, trying to bait someone into the peak. Now, bear in mind that they might start to worry just a little bit because of the snake bite, and even running through it is Ordaz, but he's the only one taking a fight. He's the only one whose position was known. I like this. Everybody else is still a myth to Benjyfishy. He's trying to find the story, he's trying to find the Loch Ness Monster, but unfortunately, they are all hiding in the lake. It is an easy win out in the end for ULF, and they reclaim their lead.
And those pistol stats looking much better for this squad after this series and doing it against Heretics.
The second you said it, they've won all of them.
Yeah, genuinely. From that moment forward, it's been flawless. And a lot of them leaving Benji in the clutch. The man who was picking up so much damage starting off this series. An injection of rounds much needed with both. Keep in mind, with the pistols. Yes, get that Yedishe channel. But with the fact that ULF won the pistol and the follow-up and still ended up neck and neck, I think you can see how valuable that pistol could be now that they're on the side that they didn't choose to start on. Also, I will say, Demers had the unluckiest game ever. Like, I'm not going to say all 11 of his deaths. I'm going to say at least 4 of them have been complete BS. The rest, you know, unlucky.
Some of them was him just running through smoke. That's your fault. You're not hitting your shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's your fault. But there are 4 I'll give him a lot of excuse, especially when there were 3 players stacked up here. He got 1 tap.
So he's 1 and 7 is what you're saying.
Yes.
Not so
criticize him for being 1 and 7, not 1 and 11. That's my take on this situation.
You saved him. There you go.
No one will be mean to him now.
No, it's fine. It's fine, honestly. But not much back.
Who trained you?
Yeah.
Cool. That wasn't Demer.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Just jump up with a classic and.
Spike planted.
Is this an ad? Is that why I'm watching right now? Let's see if he can, if he gets 4 more, we're in an advertisement.
Molly fading. Fabian's thinking about going in. It looked like
don't do it.
That would be perhaps an insane play, but not in a good way. Instead, he sits here. Challenge coming his way. Stun gonna catch him. He's still good for the first and the second shot. Fabian, that is dirty game, but lay. So is it from Boo. He's almost taking himself a double. Gonna be a 3rd in the round. 8 on the board for ULF, but I gotta be honest, a little more costly than it looked like.
Yeah, when it was what 5 classics, you don't really expect 3 people to go down. I'll say for Fabian, proof again that obviously stuns are just cosmetic if you believe in them and if you have aim as good as his, which we don't. But nonetheless, a little bit more damage than they would have liked, but they've managed to get the conversion once again.
I don't know what that's about.
I'm pretty sure it's like I can't hit anyone. That's what that looked like. I was like, I don't know what's going on. They've still given him the rifle. Still have the belief, still giving him the confidence. Early spam from Dema, but nothing to be found. This is where Heretics have the buys, and as you said, like towards the and even in the middle of the last half, they lost some silly clutches. That was kind of what gave the springboard. But they definitely look better towards the end of it. It's whether or not they can get going a little bit quicker, otherwise ULF just might be there to close it out. Fabian got a little bit further than expected, but I think the barrel might have been spotted. That's enough for Ians to get the kill through the wall. An opener that they're definitely going to value.
Yeah, I think either they saw the barrel or there's a mirror behind him on the stage and they can see his screen. That's about the only 2 scenarios. And
I'm going to go
mirrors down there.
He saw the barrel because otherwise you're calling him out for cheating.
Yeah. Technically, unless he put the mirror there, it wouldn't be his fault, but, you know, there is no. It's okay. ULF, 4 players left alive, but boots on the ground. B side has been taken. Problem is Heretics are ready on both sides to pounce back in. Look at the other side of the map for Woot. He's about to have a nasty surprise as Stern catches him in the head. Puts it back to a 4v4. He needs to rotate quickly, but he's a thorn in their side. Because he doesn't take the TP, they're going to have to worry about him coming behind, which means it's time to go. Oh, unfortunately for Neki, comeback goes right into his corner.
Yeah, and the problem is that that's the guy who is kind of marking the spike. Look at the position of it. The other players have to try and swing back around, and they're just not going to be able to do it. Comeback, I think only just realizing that, yep, everybody is dead, wanting his teammate to now get the defusal. But also, again, I think Comeback's use of the slow has been fantastic. Like the amount of times I've seen him hit someone diving, get an opener. And in that round, that was the crucial kill. Everybody else was locking down an angle, coming in on the flank. There was only 1 player on site. Comeback cleared him, round is done.
Yeah, I think he really is.
He even got the next one as well, fair play.
He got the next one, and then he was setting up for the 3rd.
He's like,
pre-fired the 3rd guy.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, if they close,
that's when you're so locked in. You're so locked in that you don't even realize you've already won.
Yeah, it's like 1 enemy remaining.
Here.
Didn't hear that, mate. Didn't hear. All I heard was the shots of my gun ringing out. The thing is, for ULF, 8-7, rifles come out here. Heretics winning this round will propel them back into the game. The hindrance fades, but not in time, as Stern is able to punish Boo, and presence on this A side undeniable. The spike, though, has been left behind. There's the option to go back towards the B side if they want to, or a late lurk from Fabian. Either way, that's going to be a problem for Team Heretics to deal with.
Already a few players here.
They know this
flash through already and managing to do at least a little bit of delay. Thrash thrown out, a chance to stun, but it hasn't quite connected. And now looking to maybe switch things up, but bear in mind there is still a player in the form of comeback on the other side of the map. They're sticking around, they're waiting. Molotov not going to connect. Means they do get themselves in that advantageous position with the time ticking in their favor. Bear in mind, Orders with a singular kill will have Orbital Strike online. That might just turn the round. He's in a very aggressive position.
Ooh, well, he's been spotted, that's for sure, and clearing out of the smoke. On as Demur down, the only man left standing. They know exactly where he is. They've got him boxed into as the defuse hits halfway. Fabian's running out of time, and Wu will be there, hindering his efforts. 8-8 now on the board, neck and neck with Heretics climbing back into this after being 5-1 down to start. This is where ULF will start to feel that pressure again. They're no longer in the lead. They're no longer cheering after every pick. Now it comes back to survival.
Sit down!
Whoop. Sit
said-
Fabian down.
Yeah,
That's what
or
he said.
sit back down.
No, it was an F. It was sit
No,
Fabian down. That's what he said. Sit Fabian down. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he shushed him earlier. I mean, it's just basic
You want to play?
yes.
Let's play.
cause and effect.
Not much in terms of weaponry to play with here for ULF, but they do have themselves a Tour de Force and a couple of other ults to play with. A post plant here would be nice. Can Dema get anything? He's used the stun again. And oh, it's an orbital strike. Benji has to go forward, but they don't expect him to. He's coming away with the kill. He should have been dead to rights immediately. And now a counter orbital strike. One goes through the TP. Stern is almost dead immediately.
At least they can plant the spike, Tom.
They forgot it. Oh,
At least they can get that plant on A, though, Tom.
Yeah.
They got bathroom. It's all good.
Unattended bag in the baggage area. It's gone wrong. Someone's going to have to dispose of that. Oh, even using the, used the rifle to force him back and then just wrecked him, and then Comeback's gone flying back around the map at light speed. Last two are low. Any hope in this round is gone.
I still can't believe Benji got the kill. The kill he got as well dropped the spike, right? Yeah, it was that player in the corner.
30
Benji
seconds left.
running out, literally won them the round.
Enemy remaining.
That's... Well, timeout from ULF. I'll call it already. I imagine this is where it's going to come into play, because you can't make a play like that off an ult. That's not a flash. That's not a stun. That's an ultimate! And you've let him run through it. When there were three players looking at it, what were they doing? At this point, there's no option. And they called a timeout. I didn't actually know that in advance, but honestly, if he didn't, I'd go down to the coaching booth myself and press the button. This is a moment for a reset.
I don't think you're allowed
100%.
to do that.
Well, I would, Tom. They can escort me out of the building. It's cold out there,
I
actually.
wish.
Please don't.
you're not
there
dressed for the
For the
outside.
winter. I haven't got my Night's Watch outfit on. Bloody hell. Yeah, but the timeout from ULF, I mean, predictable to say the least. A lot of words to be had here, and I think it is, this more than ever, is going to be to settle the emotions of the boys. Like, it has been a streak from Heretics. They're getting back in here with 6 out of 8 rounds that we've played.
I do love the difference between Afron Fire and Geist. Like, it's like, Afron Fire looks so chill. He's sort of like, it's like, almost like the gentle parenting. Like, he's just like, oh, we could do this better,
It's
this
good
better.
cop, bad cop.
And then you see Geist, like, looking like he's about to fight the monitor. Like, it's like, there's a stressed man. He looks at...
Sometimes he's so stressed, he looks like he's going to lose.
The
that
funny
fight.
thing is, as well, is like, it's not getting any less stressful, it seems, for guys with the game that they had yesterday. But, wow. For Neil and Weber, maybe the stress has reduced a little bit with the last few rounds, 3 in a row. They have lost both pistols and still find themselves in the lead. This is where the economy comes back. A good time to take a pause anyway, just because you now have those rifles in play that, as you sort of mentioned, a couple of seemingly wasted ults for not a lot in return.
My ult's ready.
It's a real kicker for ULF to go down like that. 3 rounds in a row for Heretics, though. In the context of the half, I mean, it's 3-2. It's not the end of the world, far from it. But this round here could decide the fate of the attackers. They're playing into a Viper's pit, and it looks like they're going to play through it already, sending in the Seekers. In goes the dash. Demur looking for a fight up close, and they'll get comeback, but that's not the pit dropped. Benji keeps control over that, and another player steps in to cover that. It's Wood. He's got a freebie onto Fabian. Decayed in the corner and dealt with easily, but he can't stick around for long. They have to worry about that bathroom push, and while the wrap comes in from Rienz, the B site is now much more vulnerable. A pick from Stern could get the pit down on B as well as a plant.
Does he expect him to be in this corner, though? This is a much deeper angle. Something that needs to be checked, and he's seen the barrel of the gun. That's enough. Rienz also catches out Neki from afar, and because nothing has pulled anybody to the other side of the map, it makes it very difficult for these remaining players. They haven't cleared the pit. They haven't cleared heaven. It's not really anywhere for them to go. A plant at least, the heaven spot completely open, but they put themselves in a spot where it's possible, and if Dema gets another kill, maybe his ult can help.
Well, Rienz trigonometry lessons didn't go according to plan. The wingman hasn't quite cleared out a lot of space, but it doesn't seem to matter. Root has slipped past Demur, who's caught by Benji, and Audaz is left alone. A 1v3, but the defuse forces him forward, and double swung to close, double digits on the board for Heretics, and that was a big investment from the attacking side. Nothing found as a result, and Heretics, well, they're getting very close to the home stretch.
And close to the spot we kind of expected them to be. I think especially the sort of 3 long-term members of ULF have put on a bit of a show on this map, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. They need a little bit more, need to dig a little deeper. Dema's got the judge. Now, we've already seen how that can be utilized with these aggro dashes towards that Lamp's position. An opportunity, especially alongside the Saturate, to maybe steal a kill on Taboo, but I feel like he should be aware of it. In fact, they're even going to use the ult. They really want him to get this kill, but he's escaped.
And missed. They gave him too much time to run back around. The man's got legs even without a booster. Boo's out of there, 14 HP. He will hold on to life, and they trade out comeback. Okay, early fight's decent with the Viper's pit to fall back on. This is a great start for ULF. In goes the Mosh, and that won't deny the plan, but it will do damage to Neki, and then Stern falls, leaving Fabian in the open. That timing could not have been worse. At least they got a plant out of it. A small sliver of hope. A silver lining on a very gray cloud as Heretics close in the distance now. From all sides, the walls are closing in. Neki's being crushed, and where can Demur go? 3 and 15. He's boxed in, they know where he is. And no one is giving him a chance. A snake bite, and okay, he'll get one more, maybe even another. But in the end, he will fall. And ULF fall further behind, 8-11 now. And the economy's on the rocks.
A little bit of standing in the end, but I think he knew he was done. Wasn't any way out. He could at least remove a couple of weapons, but it looks like...
You did try to hit him with a snake bite. I'm jumping shorty him, Benji, so I'm, you know, you can't feel that bad about being judged there.
Yeah. 11-8. Weaponry of sorts. Still a few weaknesses for the attack side, but they've just got to keep trying to run it back at this point. Comeback's had a much, much better display, and it kind of makes sense. Like, this composition looks like there's been a lot more sort of setup for him, but also I've just enjoyed watching him on the waylay. I think he looks like the kit fits him a lot better than what we had seen in the last map. Nonetheless, still a little bit of a way to go. Those hero plays have started to dissipate though for ULF, and I think they're going to need a few more.
Shot a comeback that starts this off, and a few missed on the other side. Demur steps in through the smoke, and well, the others, they have been inconsequential picks, but these, anything but. Demur, he's given them a chance. He has resuscitated the still heart of ULF. It beats once more, but for how long? With Benji and comeback, and ult online for comeback. Very low HP for Demur, and guess who he's walking into? It's the man with the sniper. Actually, the best chance for him, but he's so quick on the trigger, and Benji's just the same. Hope fades quickly in this battleground as Heretics make it to 12-8. The streak seemingly showing no end, and for ULF, a 2-0 just over the horizon.
He is just, you can't see this. He is currently just stood on Deva's body, come back, just spamming bullets into it. Like, for the entirety of the end of that round.
90 bullets he sprayed into that body.
He picked up a rifle to spam the bullets.
Yeah.
So there you go. Clearly, I think we saw it earlier, he's played against these guys a few times and wanted to really show his dominance. He kind of already is, 20 and 13. As I said, a much, much better display than what we saw on the Neon on the last map, and even from what we saw last time they played this map in general. Very different opponent, but it's better signs at least. Emma is just running it down, and it's kind of what we wanted to see. Nice shot from Neki. That's at least going to be Woot gone.
Yeah. A solid start for ULF, an opening pick.
Poison's off.
Will at least bridge the gap of the weak weapons they've brought to play. And Neki as well, tagged down to 51. Of course, the only player he can't heal up is himself. Doesn't feel like giving Demur the 5 HP back. Deal with it. Fair point.
It's expensive, you know?
Doesn't really make that much of a difference. So.
You'd have to rebuy it.
Poison orb emitting.
Oh, ultimate used. They're going to try and put the pressure on, but Rians is just looking to defend his teammate now. Benji throws out the snake bite. One comes the other way, but he's managed to dodge it. Oda's still in the corner, though. Not being cleared. But they do now have 3 players here ready and waiting.
The trade so quick from Heretics. Comeback. He's got himself a double, and Riens is there with 3. Team Heretics, 13-7, 13-8. There were definitely some blows landed by ULF throughout this series, but I guess the prophesized victor takes the W in the end.
Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised by the result, but I am a little bit surprised as how we got there, especially in that first half. I think there were a lot of rounds where ULF really showed that they had some of that individual brilliance. I think that Neki, Ordaz especially, had some fantastic moments, and I think there is a lot to be excited for when they have their full roster ready and raring to go. I also think that, like, hey, if they could catch a team off guard going into that lower bracket. I don't think it's a set-in-stone result next time that they play, and the more confidence that they gain, the more Afro Fire can sort of spirit the troops. I think that there's opportunities. For Heretics, it's a job sort of well done in the end, but still a little bit shakier than I would have liked, and I think the next team that they play, they're going to have to really step it up if they're going to be able to like make a proper run and make it to the events. That's what they're here for.
Yeah, at the end of the day, their bar has been set very high. Today, at least, they've managed to make it. Your 8 rounds, Tom. ULF got to it, but Heretics, they didn't let much more slip. We've seen some errors, but they got there in the end.